Hi, we are Team Mantis. My name is Thomas Gilman.
I'm Coral Outermilk.
I'm Matthew Riddick.
And I'm Joe Boy.
And for our capstone computing project, we made an application that is designed to be a fast and easy way for employees and employers alike to manage schedules and communicate with each other. Our app is designed to be executed on devices with the Android operating system. Within the application, employees can post scheduling availabilities and employers can post weekly schedules. The application will differentiate between various positions to ensure all labor needs are adequately satisfied and act as a bridge for communication between management and staff.
For our technologies, we used Android Studio to develop the app. We used the Java SDK as the programming language. And then we used two Fire-based services. We used Firestore to store data like trade requests and shifts. And then we use Firestore authentication to allow the user to create and log in to the two accounts. And then we use GitHub as our version manager. This is the first screen when you open the app. To make an account, you just go to register, and then you fill out the information. And if this was a manager account, we could take this to make it a manager account, but this will just be an employee. Once we're registered, we can hit login to go ahead and log in. And if we hadn't just registered and we were just opening it normally, then we could also select forgot password to recover it that way if we forgot it.
So from the employee's homepage, there are two different ways that we can navigate to the different pages that are available to an employee. The first is clicking on one of these button tabs, and it'll take them right to the page that they want to. The second option is up in the top right here. We have a menu. If they click on it, it'll show all the different pages that they can navigate to as well, and if they click on one of these, then it'll take them right to that page as well. But for now, we'll just stick with the button tabs here. So we'll start off by going into everyone's schedule. This page shows for a given day everyone that's scheduled for said day, and it'll show for each person that's scheduled their name, the time their shift starts at, along with the role that they're doing for that shift. And we can navigate to a different day by either clicking on this box up here, and it'll bring up a calendar. We can pick a day that way. Or we can use these arrows to navigate to a different day, backward or forward. So let's say we click on this arrow. We can see that on the next day, April 25th, who's scheduled for that day. And the same thing, their name, their shift time, along with their position shows. So let's go back to the home page, and we'll go into My Schedule. And this is the employee's personal schedule that they can look at the shifts that they're scheduled for. So let's go into, we can choose the day by clicking on that box, and it'll pop up with the calendar. We press OK. And we can see that Joe is scheduled on April 24th at 10:45 a.m. in a server role for that day. And there are two options that an employee has with their shift. The first is they can drop the shift. So we press drop. It'll pop up with this text saying the shift has been dropped, and to see the changes to come back in the page once you've backed out. And when you drop a shift, it goes to this page, Available Shifts, where it once again shows the date of the shift start time, along with the position. And to pick up the shift, all you do is press pick up, and it will say that the shift has been picked up and that it's been added to your work schedule. And to see the changes in available shifts to come back in the page once you've backed out. If you can see that when we back out and we come back in, it'll pop with a message saying there's no available shifts currently. And if we go back to My Schedule and we go back to April 24th, we can see that Joe is scheduled again for April 24th at 10:45 a.m. as a server. The second option to do with a shift is trading it. So we click on Trade, and it'll pop up with this dialog saying to select the person. So we click on Set Person here, and it pops up with a list of everyone else that works at the establishment to choose from to trade a shift. So we'll click on Ashton here, because this shift that we're trading is a server, and he also is registered as a server in his roles. We'll click Confirm, and it'll pop up with the shifts that Ashton's scheduled for. We can click on this shift, and it'll save it in here, and we click Confirm, and a trade request has been sent and it's stored in the database, and then the manager can go and view it and accept or deny it, which we'll get to later. Next, we'll go into the time off page. This is where an employee will submit a time off request. To do this, start by picking a start date. You click on this box, it'll pop with the calendar. We'll press OK. It's the start date for April 24th. Next, click on an end date. You click on this box. It'll also pop with the calendar, and we'll say the 28th. And then under comments, we can choose to leave a comment or not. We'll leave it blank just to show an example of that. And we press submit, and it says the request has been submitted successfully, and all the boxes empty once the request has been submitted. If we try to submit a request where the start date comes after the end date, so let's say example, we start on the 28th and on the 24th, try to press submit, it will say that it's an invalid entry and to make sure the start date occurs before the end date. So then we can go into pending time off requests. And this is where the employee can see all the time off requests they've submitted along with their status. So it will show their name, the start date they submitted, the end date, and if we click on it, it will show the comments they left. So this one was graduation, this comment was vacation, and this one we didn't submit any comments with it. So it will pop with NA down here. And if it's accepted, it will show status accepted. If it's rejected, it will show status rejected. And if it hasn't been accepted or rejected yet, it will say that the time off request is currently under review. And then lastly, we'll go to the employees page, and this shows a list of all the employees that work at the establishment. It'll show their roles, and if there's no roles assigned to them, it'll show this text here, no roles assigned. These buttons on the right are not available for base level employees to mess with the roles of an employee. So if you click on add role here, we can see that it says I'm not allowed and I don't have permission to change this employee's roles. And if I click remove role, it pops up with the exact same thing, saying I don't have permission to do this. And we can scroll down and see the list of everyone. So we can back out, and if Joe is done, he can log out. It'll take us right back to the main page and to log in or register.
Okay, so this is the manager homepage for the Mantis scheduling app, and we are logged in as Spencer Rattler, the amazing manager of this establishment. And all of the pages are pretty much the same as a normal employee, except they have a few extra ones down here at the bottom, and the employees page has a little extra functionality too. So you can actually edit the roles as a manager, so we'll go ahead and do that for Jane Doe, the newly created user. She can just be the host. We can go ahead and confirm that. Then we can go see updates as a host, and then if we wanted to, we can just go ahead and remove that role as well, host. And as you can see, it gets updated and there's no more roles assigned to her anymore. Then you can also make or edit a schedule, and so you can pick the day like normally for all the other pages, but you can also add or remove shifts for any given day. So see, I'll go ahead and remove myself from this schedule because I don't feel like working today. And so then it just goes and says the shift has been removed. Okay, and we can go ahead and update the schedule, and then we can confirm that the shift has been removed from the schedule. And then if we wanted to add a shift to the schedule, we just go click this plus right here, and then we can select the person first. Let's see, we'll pick Shane Beamer. There we go, and he's a manager, so I'll put him as a manager. And then we want to pick the time he comes in at, say 10 o'clock in the morning. There we go. And that's how you add someone to a schedule. So then we have the updated schedule right there. Then we can go back. Then we can also view the time off request. So we saw the time off request by Joe was submitted earlier. And here actually it is right here. So we can go ahead and approve that request so he gets the time off. We have the confirmation message right here. Okay. And then, so that will show up on Joe's page as the time off request being confirmed. And then we can also view the trade requests. So then here we have this shift. They want to go ahead and trade these two shifts. I think that's alright, so I'll go ahead and approve that shift. You can see Ashton wants to work for the 24th, and Joe will be working on the 25th. I can approve that. And then just to make sure, you can go check the schedule and see that it was updated. So yeah, now we have Ashton working this day and Joe working this day. And then that's everything that's different for the manager side.